What's up guys, and welcome back to the video. I hope you guys subscribe by the time I finish taking that sip of water. Today we're going to be covering a video that I'm very excited about. It's the top 5 misconceptions that I had when I started to lose weight. Editor here, you're going to want to stick around for misconception number 5 because it's actually life-changing. So let's just dive right into it with misconception number 1. Not every body is the same. As you all know, humans are structurally different on the inside. Some people have wider shoulders, some people have wider hips, some people are taller, some people are shorter, etc, etc, etc. I could go on all day. But the point is, it's not healthy to idolize somebody that has an unachievable structure for you. So for example, when I first started losing weight, I was idolizing these really slender, skinny runners and these really skinny gymnasts.
What an idiot!
And I realized that that build is just unachievable for me because of how broad and wide my shoulders are. And another great example would be my good friend Parker. He's absolutely massive. He's way taller than me, he has huge broad shoulders, and he's just an absolute beast.
I'm not as strong as that guy.
And him at his skinniest point will never be as skinny as me at my skinniest point. And me at my most buff form will never be as buff as him and his most buff form. The man is gonna look like a Viking one day, and that's just not an achievable build for me. And the sooner that I accept that, the easier it is for me to continue to progress down my path. So just accept that you might not be able to look like your idol, and that's okay. If you really want somebody to idolize on your path, try and pick somebody with a similar structure and a similar build to you. Misconception number 2. Healthy foods. Not all healthy foods are actually healthy. For example, Cliff Bars. You might have been walking through your local store and seen a Cliff Bar and thought, wow, that looks healthy. Look, it has a climber on it. It just seems healthy.
What the hell are you talking about?
But if you actually flip it over and take a look at this, it's actually 260 calories for this one little bar. Now that doesn't necessarily make this Cliff Bar unhealthy, but it just makes it bad for losing weight. Because when you're losing weight, you want to try and get the least amount of calories, but the most portion. So for this little tiny Cliff Bar being 260 calories, it's probably not a great option. And actually what it's used for is like climbers and hikers. They don't want to carry around a big portion, but they want to be able to get a lot of calories and a lot of energy out of what they're carrying. So this is a great option for hikers, not a great option for people trying to lose weight. And another great example would be peanut butter. You might have seen your favorite fitness influencer downing peanut butter and thought, wow, that must be really healthy for you. However, each tablespoon of peanut butter is 100 calories a piece. Now the reason this person was probably downing peanut butter is because they were trying to put on muscle. Peanut butter is high in calories, but it's also high in protein. So when you're trying to put on weight in the form of muscle, it is a great option. But it's just not a great option for losing weight. Misconception number 3. Dieting is a replacement for exercise. It's actually not. When I first started trying to lose weight, I thought my options were either to diet or to exercise. But it's actually way more efficient to do both hand in hand. Because when you're dieting, your body still needs to get the energy from somewhere. And it turns out that it actually would prefer to get that energy by burning the muscle off of your body rather than burning off the fat. So when you do finally burn off all of that fat, you will have also burned off all of that muscle and you will just be really skinny. Not to mention, exercise is also really good for your heart health, lung health, bones, etc, etc, etc. So you really do just need to be doing both hand in hand to get the best results. And maybe the best reason of all, the more you exercise, the more you can eat. Because the more you exercise, the more leeway calories you're giving yourself, and the more you can consume. Misconception number 4. I'm too fat to exercise. I think exercise gets this reputation of being either you have to jog 10 miles or you have to lift weights every single day, at least 20 pounds. That's not how it works at all. Exercise is just pushing yourself. It's just about you and your own personal journey, raising your heart rate every single day, and moving and getting active every single day. It doesn't matter if you can do the things that other people are doing. If you can't run, jog. If you can't jog, walk. If you can't walk, crawl. If you can't crawl, tap your foot. The point is, just do something challenging for yourself every day, and eventually that thing will become not challenging, and you can take it up a next level, and you can keep doing that until you're running 200 miles like David Goggins.
Hey, I'm not afraid anymore.
When I first started exercising, I couldn't even jog 1 mile without stopping to catch my breath. It was super discouraging, and I thought, if I can't even run 1 mile, how am I supposed to exercise? How am I supposed to lose weight? But my body doesn't know what 1 mile is. It just knows that my heart rate is increasing, the blood is flowing, the lungs are pumping, the legs are moving, I'm sweating, and I'm burning calories. It just knows that yesterday it burned 100 calories because I jogged 0.5 miles, and today I burned 110 calories because I jogged 0.6 miles. Just compete with yourself and don't quit just because you're not in the same position as somebody else. Because they could have once been in your position, and the only reason they're where they're at now is because they didn't quit. Now for the biggest misconception of all, and probably the one that hurt my progress the most. Misconception number 5. The less you eat, the better. This is just not true. Eating less is not always better, and if it's taken too extreme, it can actually be worse for you. Alright, I'm gonna get super scientific and nerdy for just 1 second. Bear with me, guys. You have this thing called your metabolic rate, and your metabolic rate is just basically the calories that your body naturally burns because your lungs are pumping, your heart's beating, etc., etc., etc.
You're a nerd.
Now, if you eat too little, your body basically says, whoa, wait a minute, we're starving. Let me slow down the metabolic rate. Your metabolic rate can drop 10 to 25% in extreme dieting, which is a bad thing because that means that your body is going to be naturally burning less calories. And as I kind of mentioned earlier, your body prefers to burn the muscle first because fat is the best long-term energy source. So when your body senses I'm starving, it's going to protect the fats and the long-term energy reserve, and it's going to burn through the muscle first. And finally, the last scientific reason is called the rebound effect. It basically just says that once you start eating normally again after too extreme of dieting, your body will actually store those calories more efficiently, and it's going to lead to rapid fat regain. I want to quickly show you guys a great tool to make sure that you're not eating too few calories in a day. So go ahead and go to the link in the description down below to get here, or you can go ahead and copy this URL that you see right here, and it's going to take you to this calorie.net calorie calculator. Now what you're going to want to do, go ahead, put in your age, your gender, your height, and your weight. And then you're going to tell it how often you exercise. And it's going to give you all of these options here. Now this 2,920 calories is my maintenance calories. Basically that says that at my age, at my height, at my activeness, that's how many calories my body is just going to naturally burn by me sitting here. So if I eat that many calories in one day, I will have not gained or lost any weight. Now it also tells you this, which is the most helpful thing that I could possibly ever ask for, and that's if you want to have mild weight loss, so that's 1/2 pound a week, you need to eat this many calories in a day. And if I want to have good weight loss, that's 1 pound a week, I need to eat this many calories in a day. If I want to have extreme weight loss, 2 pounds a week, I need to eat this many calories in a day. So this is just a great way to get started and to make sure that you're really not eating too few calories. Now, I do push this a little bit and I do help it fluctuate. I'll eat between 1,200 and 1,500 calories in a day, and I find that that works great for my weight loss, and I still put on muscle. But just starting off, you do want to make sure that you're not cutting too few calories, and this is a fantastic way to do that. So that's going to do it for this one. That was the top 5 misconceptions that I had when I started losing weight. Make sure you like, subscribe, turn on the notifications, do all that stuff. Thank you. Thank you. You're the best. I know you did it. Thank you.
Boy, this party really died.
And with that note, I will see you guys on the next one.